Gerald says that the value of our properties will go down when they move in. The whole circle will suffer." "I don't see why it should," replied Mary, even as she wondered if, in this case, Gerald, or more probably Sheila, might be right. "There's a student house on the corner of Dartmouth Avenue, and Mrs. Old's house, 2 doors away from that, sold very well last month, I'm told. It didn't seem to affect the price she got." Mary didn't actually know what Mrs. Old's house had sold for, but she felt the need to disagree with Sheila, who was always so dogmatic about things. However, as she was on rather shaky ground, she went on almost without a pause. "How did you hear?" "Ned told me himself," answered Sheila. She drank some more of her coffee and replaced her cup carefully on the table before going on. "I met him at Molly's when I went for the paper this morning. He was full of it. 'Contracts actually exchanged this time, Mrs. C,' he said. 'Oh, Mr. Short, I am pleased for you,' I said. 'I do hope it's a nice family moving in, or perhaps a young couple, the quite professional sort, you know.' And he laughed at me, Mary. Laughed that dreadful, common laugh of his and said, 'Doubt if it'll be quiet, Mrs. C. It's been bought as a student house.' I heard them say they're hoping to put 9 or 10 into it. 9 or 10, Mary, in a terraced house like ours. Can you imagine? Next door." Mary had to admit a certain sympathy at the thought. "Do the Redwoods know yet?" she asked. Sheila shook her head. "No, I don't think so. I think they're still away. I came straight home to tell Gerald, of course," she went on. "And then I did give their doorbell a ring, but there was no reply, so I assume they aren't back yet. I know Melanie had the baby last week. I told you it was a girl, didn't I? Anyway, I think they were going to stay for a while, to help with little Todd." Well, thought Mary wryly, if anyone knows their plans, it'll be you. Anyway, Shirley didn't know how long they'd stay. "Not all that long, if I know David," laughed Mary. "He hates to leave his garden at this time of year." "Well, they'll be devastated when they do hear," asserted Sheila. "They like their peace and quiet, and they'll have the same problems as we will. All the noise and the comings and goings with 10 of them." "I really doubt if there'll be 10 living in a house that size," soothed Mary. "They wouldn't fit in." "Of course they would. They don't care how they live. People like that. Gerald says they'll probably smoke pot, or worse. What are we going to do?" "I agree it's not what any of us would have chosen to happen," Mary said briskly. "But as there isn't anything we can do about it, we'll just have to wait and see, and make the best of it. Now, I'm sorry to have to turn you out, Sheila, but I'm due to help with the lunches at St. Joe's today, and I've got to go." Sheila drained her coffee cup. She considered her neighbour was taking the whole thing far too calmly and wanted to jerk her into awareness of the dreadful reality that was about to overtake them. "Gerald says we should call a meeting at the Residents' Association," she began, "and form a committee." "A committee?" repeated Mary incredulously. "Gerald said that?" "Yes," replied Sheila firmly. "Well, a subcommittee within the Residents' Association, so that things aren't allowed to get out of hand." "It seems to me that it's you who's getting out of hand," thought Mary. "And just what will this subcommittee do?" she inquired dryly. "Keep a strict eye on number 7, Sheila said. "Warn them about being a nuisance and call the police when they are." "Call the police?" Mary was exasperated with such an attitude. "Sheila, you don't know anything about these young people yet. You've no idea if they're going to cause a nuisance, make a noise, give rowdy parties, take drugs. They may be perfectly normal youngsters." "Yes," agreed Sheila ominously. "That's what I'm afraid of." "Anyway, I shall go and see Anthony Hammond this evening. As chairman of the Residents' Association, he must be told."